Hey everybody, welcome back to the Final Fantasy VI walkthrough. I am joined again by Stigma.
What's up? I have two cats.
We are just about to enter the South Figaro cave?
Figaro, I always went with.
Okay. Figaro it is. So this one, I do want to say, the items in here inside this cave get upgraded. Excuse me. If you don't take them the first time you go through, which I will definitely recommend. The one of them in particular upgrades to a Thunder Rod, which is huge for a fight that is quite a ways off, but it's really nice for this low level challenge. Excuse me. So I would definitely recommend not taking these treasure chests this first time through.
Do the Hornets and Blearies have anything worth stealing?
No, these ones don't. Right outside the cave, though, I'm glad you asked. Right outside the cave, you can fight, I should say on the opposite side of this cave. So once we get into like the South Figaro area, there's an enemy called the Rinatar or something like that. And you can steal the Mithril Claw, and that's for Sabin. So that'll be coming right up. And I actually did steal two. But in all honesty, I don't think that was all that necessary. I ended up not equipping Sabin with that. Well, I actually technically I did for a little bit, but I ended up switching it up later. And I guess we'll go into that a little bit more once I actually get there. But my idea was to get the first. Is it the Genji glove? Is that how you said it? I always used to say.
I always said Genji.
Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna.
I don't know
I'm
the
just
proper
I don't know either.
pronunciation, but
But yeah, so my idea was to equip him with the Genji glove, which allows him to equip two weapons, which was why I stole the two, and then have the black belt from you. It's in his scenario too. So then what that all would do would be every time he gets attacked, there's a 50% chance that he would counterattack and then attack with both weapons because he's got that Genji glove equipped. So that was my idea, but I ended up equipping him in a different way because so what I wanted to do instead was to equip the running shoes on him so that he'd be in the haste condition. Since his Aura Bolt is so powerful, and then
it's just worth it to have him go first and
to just
kill something.
be really fast. Yep. So that's the way I ended up doing it. So, anyways, long story short, I spent a little bit of time, stealing two of those Mithril Claws out here. I got actually pretty lucky, so it didn't take very long. But I didn't really end up utilizing it all that well. So I guess I wouldn't recommend doing it. Maybe steal one for him. That's probably fine. I gotta get out of here. So, look at this. Poof. Cow got away. Alright, so anyways, we're here at Sabin's, cabin, I guess. And you can interact with these different items, and Edgar, will comment on...
Yeah, he starts tripping out and having memories.
Like, hey, these were his favorite, and he liked these. These were his dishes, or whatever, so... And then here he takes a second and just says, "Was he here?" And that little hut there, or cabin, is a great little spot, because you can sleep there for free.
I always kind of wondered, what would have happened had the coin toss went the other way? If they had even written anything, if they had written another...
Yeah, another outcome. Well, so what was it? It was, that scene, I do have footage of it, but what is it? It's something like if he won, he got his freedom, and then if he lost, they don't really say.
No, they don't. It would have been kind of cool, just to have a whole side game if...
Yeah.
Edgar
that actually would have been kind of cool.
Just be him banging everything in sight.
Yeah. Well, then do you think Sabin would have turned out to be kind of a wimp then instead? Because he goes
He would have been very skinny. I would
Yeah,
assume.
and he didn't have the power of the mountains.
No, none of that jazz.
Oh, I think I checked the ship to see if there was anything on it, and there isn't. There's no. I will say though, here in South Figaro, there's all kinds of different hidden treasures and stuff. So
A
check
lot
the
of
barrels.
nooks and crannies and-
Yep, check the crates. Check all this fun stuff because, like I said, there's a bunch of hidden stuff.
And I
Some-
think if he checks out the little 13-year-old girl that was running around there, it goes into a different side story
Yeah,
behind an alley.
yeah, that's super messed up.
It's pretty dark. This game is surprisingly very pedophile friendly.
Terrible. Alright, so here's your little relic tutorial. The gauntlet there, it's ironic that he mentions that. You can actually get that here coming right up, but it's the choice between the gauntlet or the Genji glove, and I always take the Genji glove.
No question.
Yeah, I love the Genji glove.
I don't think I've ever even used the gauntlet relic. Period.
I think I have because it gives you like a defense bonus or something. But at the cost of using your shield. But then, ironically, you can go right back into your inventory and re-equip a shield. So I don't know. So what the idea behind it is that you can increase the power of a weapon, a single-handed weapon, and then kind of using it as a two-hander instead. And thus foregoing the use of a shield. But you can, if you want, you can still get the defense bonus from the gauntlet, but then still have a shield on. So, up to you. But you can. It's an option. And here we have Shadow.
Best music in the game.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Interceptor is pretty badass too.
Yeah, Interceptor is really cool, and later on in the game, we'll show you a trick that goes along with Interceptor. You can, what is it? So, Interceptor is considered like a status that is present on Shadow, and what that means is that every once in a while, and you'll notice it in battle, when an enemy goes to attack Shadow, Interceptor will take the hit instead, and I think that like Shadow doesn't take any damage. And then Interceptor will actually attack as well, so kind of like a counter attack almost. And the cool thing about it is you can actually give that to someone else. So you could have Interceptor on
A
Terra.
really weak character.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Realm or something.
Yeah, and I use it. I actually use it later on in the game for when I actually do go to level. Because again, it's kind of like a little chance that your character won't take any damage. So it is really nice for when you're really low level and your character can't necessarily take a hit. So Interceptor will take the hit and said hit for you instead. So
Is there a way to raise the percentage of that happening?
no,
by boosting up
no,
the skill?
I don't believe that there's anything in the game now. I could be wrong on that, but there's the memo rings in the game, but as far as I can tell, those weren't really meant to do anything other than link Shadow and Realms, I don't know, stories, I guess, together, or show some sort of relationship between the two. But yeah, as far as I know, there is no way to increase the chances that Interceptor will, take a hit for you. So here, normally I would just do this later, but I wanted to get this stuff early. But there's some loot down here. This is kind of like a hidden area. And then this is definitely a hidden area right down. I
think it's
missed it.
straight down
There it
from the
is.
main path, yeah.
Yep.
I discovered that by accident my
And
first time playing.
I had no idea. I looked this up, or I saw this somewhere, and I was like, oh my god. It was probably 6 times after having played the game. I was like, wow, I missed this every single time. So I equip it here. I equip the running shoes anyway on
It's a huge boost too.
on him. And then I think I went with the Hyperwrist on Terra because I expected to just be stealing with Locke all the time. So I was like, why really up his stats at all? Not that terrorist mission. I don't know what I was doing there. It looked like I was trying to check for something, but
Was there something behind the steps too? I forget. I thought there was 2 things in there.
I don't remember. I don't think so. I looked at the loot list, and it didn't look like I missed anything. So there's just a bunch of cash here in this room, which is kind of nice at the beginning of the game here. It's definitely helps out. But as far as this goes, there's nothing else to do here yet. Obviously later on we'll come back through here and investigate a little bit more, but we're missing one of the key items to get through. There's a little save point there, which is pretty useful later on too. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for down here. Let's head back upstairs. There's definitely, like it's there is actually a few more treasure chests that we will get on our second trip through here, but those are off limits for the time being. And I would definitely recommend talking to more of the people here. I think and maybe I missed it, but if you talk to the father in the room that we came from there the first time, he says something like, "How could I have sold out the town to the Empire?" or something like that. So,
Oh, I don't think I ever caught that.
yeah.
In this?
I think it's the second trip
The
through.
second trip?
Yeah, it's the second trip. Because the troops aren't here yet, so we're still ahead of the troops, but not for long. The town does get taken over here by the Empire, and there was an elixir there that I grabbed from the clock. I think that's the only one in town. Maybe there's one more, but I think that's the only one anyway. And then this passage is kind of hidden, and I don't know if that's a one-way right now. Like, I don't think you can go back through, the way we came. I think that's only a one-way for the time being, anyway. Later on, that changes. Yes. So I believe there's a tool or two that we can. Yep. Here we go. So here's the noise blaster and the bio blaster you can buy here. Which, at the very least, I would recommend grabbing the noise blaster. I really like that tool. It's almost like a confusion, but not as unpredictable. I think. I don't know how to describe that.
Better land rate.
Yeah, it's
landing product, I guess.
when it does work on the enemy, it flips them so that they're like in the confused status.
Confused state, yep.
But I think they'll only either attack themselves or the other enemies that are present in the combat, or they will assist you in by means of either magic like healing, or in some cases, and we'll get this is much later on in the story, but there's enemies that'll cast Vanish, which is an awesome spell, or it can be awesome, I should say. There's disadvantages to it, but
I would roll around with Vanish and Float.
yeah,
Pretty much all
they're
the time.
great. They're great. The only weakness to Vanish is that a magic spell will always land on you.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's that, but I would say, and especially at the beginning of the game, and for this low level walkthrough, that is an awesome ability or an awesome status to have on your characters. So, and that it'll be coming up here in a bit too. But Shadow can kind of do some similar things to that. He's got the Invis Edge, which I think he can only use on himself, but it does that. It makes him invisible. And then there's the other one, which is like the Shadow Edge or something like that. And I think that works on everybody, and it allows your character to take like one physical hit for free or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, something like that. So I gotta play
I
around.
never use those.
Yeah, I gotta play around with the Shadow Edge a bit more because I don't remember exactly what that status does. But the good thing is, like I said, it's usable when he uses it. I think it targets all of your allies at the same time. So
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, unfortunately, in my footage, I don't have footage of me using it. But yeah, there's some other. The Mirage Vest is a very late game item that does that. It has that same effect like built in. So
Where did that drop from?
I don't remember. I don't remember. That's going way out. I'm pretty sure you can win them from the Coliseum too, but I do not remember where you get, because I think you only get one to drop. You know, I'd take a stab in the dark. I'd say like the Zone Eater, but again, I'm not 100% sure. I don't really remember.
That's what I was thinking. The Zone Eater zone.
Yeah, so
There
maybe.
was such weird enemies in
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot of weird stuff down there. So
That was a cool place. That was one of my favorite zones.
yeah. So here, this is Duncan's wife, and she says that Duncan has taken his disciples to Mount Colts for training. Which, you know, if you didn't already get that from the old man at Saban's cabin, you know, that's where we're going to be heading next.
So basically, he leaves his wife at home and takes young boys into the wilderness.
To the wilderness, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's,
Yep. His own son on top of that.
that is messed up.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy stuff.
Maybe that's why his son hated him.
I
so
think
much.
you see evil everywhere. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe there's some
Kinda
issues
makes
there.
a lot more sense now.
Kind of does. It's terrible. All right, this one's gonna come to a close though. So like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. But hope these guides are helpful. Hope you're liking them, and hope you join us for more.
Yeah, good times.
Thanks for watching.